Damien Reed had built his life on control, logic, and silence. Nothing could break him until a quiet dinner at a small, crowded cafe. A lost little girl with wide green eyes sat alone. Trembling, her tiny hands clutched together, Damien approached, intending to help, and in an instant, the world shifted. Because when her mother appeared, pale and hesitant, whispering a name from his past, he realized the truth he had never been told. This wasn't just a random child. She was his daughter, and everything Damien thought he knew about life would change forever. Damien Reed had always lived life on his terms, precise, calculated, untouchable, a billionaire CEO whose name alone commanded respect, fear, and admiration. Emotions were liabilities. Attachments were distractions. Family was a chapter he had long since closed. He believed in control above all else, until one ordinary evening changed everything. Seeking a quiet escape from his world of boardrooms and contracts, Damien walked into a small, bustling city cafe on a rainy afternoon. The smell of fresh bread and brewing coffee wrapped around him like a gentle promise of normalcy. He had chosen this place for its anonymity, the simplicity of life happening around him without him being the center of it. Then he heard a soft, trembling sob cutting through the murmurs of conversation. His eyes scanned the cafe, landing on a small figure crouched near the counter. A little girl, no older than 4, with messy curls, trembling shoulders, and the most striking green eyes Damien had ever seen. His chest tightened unexpectedly. He didn't know why, but he couldn't look away. He approached slowly, kneeling to meet her level. "Hey, are you okay?" The girl sniffled and wiped her face with a small sleeve. I'm lost. What's your name?" he asked gently. "Sophie," she whispered. Something in his chest shifted, something he hadn't felt in years. A protective, unexplainable pull. He extended his hand carefully. After a moment of hesitation, she let him take it, her fingers tiny and fragile in his grasp. For the first time in a long time, Damien felt like control wasn't everything connection was. "Don't worry, Sophie. Let's find your mom together," he said softly. They moved through the cafe, Damien scanning every face, until a voice cut through the chatter, frantic and familiar. "Sophie, Sophie, baby." Damien froze. His heart pounded. He turned slowly. There she was, Isabella Lane, the woman he had loved and lost, the one whose absence had haunted him for years. She was rushing toward them, worry etched into every line of her face. And then she saw him. Her eyes widened, her breath caught. Damien's gaze shifted to Sophie, to her green eyes' eyes. It all hit him at once. The timing, the resemblance, the unspoken truth he had never known. "She's mine." His voice was low, tight, almost strangled. Isabella nodded, tears brimming. "Yes, she's your daughter." Damien felt the world tilt beneath him. For years he had missed every first step, every scraped knee, every whispered word. Gone. Stolen by a secret he never had the chance to confront. "You kept her from me," he whispered, the shock and pain in his tone impossible to hide. "I was scared," Isabella admitted, her voice shaking. "You were building your empire, Damien. You were so focused, so untouchable. I didn't want to pull you into something you weren't ready for. I thought I was protecting you, protecting her." Damien clenched his jaw, running a hand through his hair. "That wasn't your choice to make. I should have been there. Every moment, every first laugh, every first word. I lost years I can never get back." Sophie tugged at his sleeve, her small face upturned. Damien crouched to her level. "Sophie, I'm your dad," he said softly, almost afraid to say the words aloud. Sophie's eyes widened for a long, quiet moment. Then a tiny, sincere smile spread across her face. "I knew it," she whispered. "Mommy said my eyes were special. You have them too." Damien's heart cracked and reformed in that instant. This tiny human, this child he never knew, had already accepted him without question. Her hand in his was a lifeline he hadn't realized he needed. 2 days later, Damien arrived at a park early, pacing nervously near the swings. He hadn't slept, hadn't eaten, his mind replaying every word, every glance, every heartbeat from that first cafe encounter. He wasn't prepared for how much this meant to him. Then he saw them, Isabella holding Sophie's hand, both walking toward him. Sophie spotted him first and ran, laughter spilling out like sunlight. Damien knelt as she skidded to a stop in front of him, her green eyes bright with trust. "Did you bring the book?" she asked eagerly. He smiled, reaching into his coat and producing a small storybook. "I did. Your mom said you love fairy tales." Sophie gasped and clutched the book dramatically. "I love them. Are there dragons?" Damien chuckled. Big ones. And princesses who fight them. Sophie's eyes widened. Then they're the best kind. They spent the afternoon swinging, reading, and laughing. Damien felt the weight of lost time pressing on him, but it didn't matter, he was finally here. Fully, undeniably, with the daughter he never knew he had. That evening, at Isabella's apartment, Sophie drew a picture. 3 stick figures holding hands beneath the sun. A house behind them. A big scribbled sky above. Damien stared, breath-catching. The tallest figure was him. His daughter already saw him as part of her world. He swallowed, voice thick with emotion. I'm not going anywhere. Not ever. Isabella's eyes softened, her defenses dropping for the first time in years. Sophie, oblivious to the weight of adult emotions, climbed onto Damien's lap, hugging him tightly. In that moment, Damien Reed realized what true power was: not the empires he had built, not the wealth he had amassed, not the deals he had conquered, but family, love, connection, presence. For the first time in years, he wasn't chasing control. He was chasing moments, memories, and the chance to never lose his daughter again. And he wouldn't let her go. He thought he had it all: power, control, a life with no surprises. Until a little girl appeared, lost and trembling, changing everything in an instant. When her mother ran forward, Damien realized the truth he'd never known. The child was his daughter. Watch the full story of heartbreak, reunion, and the moment a cold billionaire finally discovers the family he never knew existed. Click now to experience the tears, the love, and the life-changing reunion that will stay with you forever.